Hello, hello. All right. Hello, guys. Welcome to Excape podcast. This is once again Excape, or you can call me by my real name, Paul. And once again, welcome to episode 2 of my podcast. It's a wonderful and hot Sunday today, August 15. And I hope you guys are all doing well diha sa inyong mga balay or kung asa man mo diha sa inyong office, if you are working. And yep. Today will be a very interesting episode. So, from for the most of us, like example for me, we have we have been growing in a belief that there is a higher power, that there is a God, that there is a Savior, or whatever your religion is. So we have grown up through our parents. We go to church. We study the Bible or whatever your holy scripture is. So most of us are grown into that uh, culture or belief. But some of us do not believe on that notion or culture. And whether it be from whether when they were born or when they were still little, they were like that already with the belief and the knowledge that they are shared to their parents or whatever, or whether they have become through the years as they grow. So today we will be talking to uh, two guests of mine, which I am very fortunate that they agreed to guest on my podcast. And we have two guests. So one is a guy and one is a girl, and both of them are working from home. And please, without further ado, please help me welcome my two guests, see Red and see Kitty. All right. Say hi,
Hello.
Red and Kitty, to the people who are watching.
Hi everyone,
Hello.
good afternoon.
Hi.
Hello, welcome. Thank you so much, by the way, Red and Kitty, for being here on my show, and welcome to the podcast. How are you guys?
Well, thank you for inviting me.
How are you guys? How are you, Red? How's your day?
Uh, yeah, I haven't got enough sleep yet.
Okay.
Um,
But by the
pero
way,
okay ra, fighter gyapon.
yeah, okay. By the way, pwede ra ta magbisaya diri ha. There's no limit. We can also use Tagalog if you're comfortable with Tagalog or whatever. We can use three languages here, so there's no limit. Not necessarily all English. All right. How about you, Kitty? How are you doing?
I'm doing great.
How,
Thanks for
how
asking.
was your Sunday?
Hi sa listeners.
Yeah, hello.
Um, usual, lazy. Init kayo ron.
Yeah, it's very hot. Karon jud init jud kay karon nga
Very
Sunday.
hot.
So,
Yes,
mhm. Thank you
very
again,
hot sa itong topic.
Mo gyud. Again, thank you very much for sharing your time with me today. So, I
It's my pleasure.
yeah. Uh, so I am curious about being you. We call the term atheist who doesn't believe in a higher power. So I'm curious, maybe as well as our audience there who is watching live or maybe watching on our replay. They are also curious on uh, how how is it being a atheist? How is it being living in the world different from the views of most people. So yeah, I am curious also too. So this question goes to both of you, but let's take turns on answering. So I'm gonna ask the Red first. So Red, were you always an
Yep.
atheist ever since? And if not, and how or what happened that made you change your views, man? And you can also include there
Okay.
your history or tell us a short story on what happened.
Okay. Well, it's actually a funny story because when I was young, I was very religious.
Mhm.
Sakristan pagid ko sa una. So, and uh, pag grade 6 na ko, I actually decided to become a priest.
Oh, okay.
But, yeah, my dad said no.
Mhm.
So, mo to wala ko mo dayon. Mo to pag high school na ko, I think that was in my second year na sa akong science subject, we discussed about evolution
Mhm.
by Charles Darwin.
Mhm. Mhm.
And then I was still a very religious person back then during that time. And yeah, then our science teacher asked us to create an essay of whether or not evolution is real or creation. So I asked my dad about this one, and my dad gave me an unbiased answer. I think he's probably the reason I shifted. Because when I asked my dad why the scientific community will not accept creation as something like as legit, my dad said that it creation is all about faith, and it's not so much about what's being observed, or there's no evidence for it. Um, so that's why
Mhm.
at that time I decided to shift my belief, and I think my dad and my both of my parents are religious, and I think they actually kind of foresee on mahimo na jud kong atheist kay me growing up. Even though my mom and dads are very religious, they did not provided me any like resources or religious books like Bible studies or Bible stories.
Mhm.
What they did was they provided me volumes of encyclopedia,
Mhm.
and everything was about science back then when I was growing up.
Mhm.
And my religion or my belief was, it's really like a personal thing for me.
Mhm.
So moto pag second year na ko, after that, when I submitted my essay, I actually selected evolution as the one to go through.
Mhm.
And during that time, I decided that I'm an atheist.
So ever since elementary ka?
No, high school.
High school. Okay, okay. High school. So what about you, Kitty? How so when did you like uh decide, or was it you who decide, or was it your parents, or what's your story?
Um, in my case, katong elementary pa ko, like
Mhm.
every Sunday jud ko musimba, like permi jud ko musimba. And then gibadlong ko sa akong mama, like nangayo mo siguro ko to something pamiliti para si matong simbahan or
Mhm.
something.
Mhm. Okay.
Yeah, ingon akong mama nga anong simba man ka nga na pari tao ra man na
Mhm.
makasala man gihapon na mutuo man ka ng mga pari ana ba. So
Mhm.
murag mo na to murag meet siya or dito na ni spark ba na murag if my mom or dako mo siya influence sa kanang na siya mga istorya-istorya na ingana ba.
Mhm.
Pero
Mhm.
religious man na akong parents lang sila musimba. So mga irehis.
Mhm. Mhm.
So, nga na, I grew up in a family nga dili tigsimba. Bag ako rin to sige simba sa una kong nahinumduman kay nadala ra ka ng mga amiga ba.
Mhm. Mhm.
Yeah. So, after my high school, wala na jud ko simba. And then, I always question things. Samot na, siguro like ni out na ko pagka atheist katong pag after Yolanda.
Okay. Okay.
Katong ako ba. Like, if there is a higher
Higher power.
like if God was merciful and
Mhm.
all powerful and omnipotent, omniscient, something like that, like
Mhm.
ever kuan present sa tanan. Well, he is helpless kay daghan kay nangamatay, not only like Yolanda, all the disasters na nahitabo sa ato. It's just that nga na jud mahitabo lang gyud na ang nature mao na yung ana
Mhm.
calamities happen, things happen, and there's really no one of higher power na maka-help. Is kita lang jud. Yan.
Mhm.
Ingan na lang na realization.
Okay. So
So,
yeah. Okay.
just pretty recent lang mga
So mostly
almost mga
uh
s-
it
eight
started.
years ago siguro or 9 years ago na ni out ko
Okay.
as an atheist.
Okay. So So, sa akong
And that's it.
nahadunggan is that both of you started at a very young age, from elementary and then high school.
Hello?
And hello, dong, kadong, hello.
Yeah,
Can you hear me?
kadungog ra ko.
Si Kitty murag dili siya kadungog. Hello, Kitty.
Hello?
Hello, Kitty. Murag wala siya kadungog sa ako. So, hopefully ma-resolve na ni Kitty ang iyang audio problem. Pero makadungog ra maka naka-red, no?
Kadungog ra ko.
Okay. Hello, Kitty. Kadungog ka?
Hello, I can't hear anything.
Wala ba? Wait lang.
Wait, I guess I have to go out sa StreamYard and then come back.
All right. Okay. Okay. Hello. Hello.
Hold on, I'll be back.
Okay. All right. Let's continue on. So, from what I got is that both of you have really started on the journey of being a different belief since you were young. And curious lang ko, Red, do you have any siblings sa imong family other than you?
Yes, I have
Mhm,
two brothers and one sister.
older or younger?
No, I'm the eldest.
Okay, okay. So how about the two of them?
Now they are religious. I think the my brother ang kanang nagsunod nako ba,
Mhm, mhm.
so
Okay.
but katong usa na ko igsoon nga laki o katong akong igsoon nga babae, I think they are religious but
Mm,
not really hardcore nga religious.
mhm, mhm. Okay. So napog kay influence sa ila hapon. So how is it?
Gamay.
So how is it, man, living in a different uh, view in terms of religion and faith?
Mm.
So is there for you? Is there a big difference on living life as a as an atheist?
Actually na siya difference pero dili siya ingon nga na ka significance kay
Mm-hmm.
para nako manggod either regardless if you're an atheist or religious, it has no bearing of what kind of person you are. So, bisag atheist ka, doesn't mean nga butan ka. At the same time, if religious ka, this doesn't mean nga maldito ka,
Mm-hmm.
and vice versa. But the difference is that kanang if ako mutabang ko sa katao, it's not for something a reward like someday nga mapunta ko sa heaven. It's something gusto ko makatabang like sincere nga pagkatabang ba.
Mm-hmm.
Like for example, naay tao or for example naay tao nga nasa kalsada natulog nga gigutom,
Mm-hmm.
mga inakog mga igtabang or mga igpagkaon nako.
Mm-hmm.
Na ako ikahatag, ako siyang atagan. Bahalag magpasalamat siya nako di ang ako lang concern is kung mabusog ba siya sa akong gihatag. Kaya
Mm-hmm.
mo na goal na ko mabusog siya. Di. Wala na ko ipakialam kung unsay tan-aw niya na ko iguman or ang mabuotan ba ko sa iyang book, sa iyang libro or
Mm-hmm.
dili something na I really don't care. Gusto lang ako nga makakaon ka.
Mm-hmm.
Kung makakaon ka, okay na ko.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay. Kitty is back. Hello.
Hi!
Kadong
Sorry.
kadong naka.
Yes,
Okay.
na phone call mo nang
Oh, okay.
mong nawala. Sorry to
It's okay. You didn't miss much lang. Ang answer lang ni Red yung na-miss. Uh, ang question, thank you so much, Red, for answering that question, by the way. So, my question sa kay Red kanina, Kitty, is that, is there a big difference in living a life different from other people or most people nga you don't believe in a higher power or anything? So, for you, does it have any big difference or big impact in living life as an atheist?
I think it's a yes and no.
Mm-hmm.
We still go on with our lives like the same as everyone else's.
Mm-hmm.
Pero ang kuan lang is maybe I'm more open and less judgmental.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I feel liberated kay if I do some, of course dili ba yata perfect, and we make mistakes and we do bad things. This is the relief lang na
Mm-hmm.
I don't believe in hell and things like that nga.
Nga, nga. So, in In other words, people don't scare you if they saying "Uy, mato ka sa impyerno," or "Dapat ka malangitan." So, doesn't really
No,
have an effect with you.
no, like daghan tao gay nga na like la may impyerno ka na
Mhm.
like akong tubag na nila kay like how do you know nga may impyerno ko? You know,
Mhm, mhm.
wala ka makamamatay siguro, buhi
Mhm,
pa man
mhm.
ka. So,
Yeah.
so di ka wala ka kabaw kung sa may tabo. At the same time, most of atheists, including me, di
Mhm.
man sila motugim pero no. Di man sa
Mhm.
di ko motugim pero no. So yeah, dili mo ko mahadlok no. Di naman
Mhm.
ko mahadlok sa gunsa.
So, basing on that, so what are the general rules or principle do you live by, Red? So, do you have any like, well, for the religious ones, we have the Ten Commandments, and as you know, you are
Mhm.
one familiar with that. Siguro, okay, you were also introduced to that before when you were young.
Mhm.
So,
Yeah.
what are your rules, man, in terms of general living, or when you live, what
Mhm.
ano, tawag, conduct do
All
you live by?
ang pinaka usa sa pinakaimportante nga rules nga akong nahibaw-an or na nasugatan is like kang Confucius gali like do unto others as you would have them do unto you.
Mhm, mhm.
Usa na and usa pa sad then sa in terms sa mga religious sa religion makakuha man gyapon kag morals diha. Like for
Mhm,
example sa Bible alone, like daghan og morals diha dili na pwede ma-deny.
mhm,
Daghan kay kag makuha sa Bibles nga it may help you kung unsa man ang imong pinagdadaanan sa currently
mhm,
sa imong life. Pero ang pinaka the best moral gyud para nako is like kung nga man kay pinagdaanan nga problema karon is ang cause ana is imong past actions yun. So dapat nimo mag-reflect jud ka tanaw nimo nga unsa may nabuhat nako sa una nga naabot ko sa ingani karon unsa may akong buhatan in the future nga dili na mausab
mhm,
or unsa may akong nabuhat sa una nga maayo nga naabot ko sa ingani karon ug unsa may akong dapat buhaton in the future para ma-maintain na ako akong path or mo improve ko nga na dili ka pwede ka blame sa ubang tao or di ka pwede ka blame sa imong religion or sa imong gods like dili ko mo blame ana kay tungod kigala gigabaan ako kay tungod ngani-ngani
yeah,
or wala naman ko
okay,
ko'y simba-simba gud no imo ginang binahatan tanan. So mao na akong rules although dili man na ako mabuhat perfectly in
mhm,
fact daghan kay kog mga sayop sa una nga nabuhat kaya akong gimahayan but wala ko ilayon gi-blame kundi akong kagalingon like akong mga past actions ako ra gid tanan.
mhm.
So yeah mao na akong
What that's the rules that
akong
you live by.
mm,
The golden rule, bale. How
golden
about si
rules at
Kitty? Mm. How about si Kitty? Uh, what rules do you live by, Kitty? Do you also agree with what Red said about, do unto others what others have done to you?
Yes, always choose kindness gyud kay kuan padungog man ako.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay. So I agree with Red. Being an atheist makes you more kanang accountable sa imuhang you you become more accountable on all your actions ba. Like you don't blame na natintal ko sa yawa, natintal ako kanang ingana ba. It's because it's your nature or naan sa imong nature something ingana ba. So you're responsible for your actions and all the consequences na mahitabo after ana sa imong gibuhat.
Mhm, mhm,
And na siya, if rules to live by, always choose kindness good as much as possible and also be less judgmental towards other people kay we don't know what that person is going through and imo pa jud samutan ama na ba
mhm, mhm,
like miracle man gud na siya
mhm,
to ka
mhm,
na miracle gud na
mhm.
like bisag
Or nawag tang si Kitty.
no tungkol si
So, basically, we are just still the same. No, we live by being
yeah.
kind to others. We try not to do bad things to others, and then ang difference lang dyan sa inyo, ha, with the most of the people are just, you just don't believe in the higher power lang. So, but
Uh-huh.
then about this one, so I'm sure that you have this one, Red, na sometimes people don't see it that way. nga kaning ingana nga we are the same. Sometimes we have uh,
Mhm.
received reactions or comments about kanang dili bate. So for you, are there any
Mhm.
violent reactions or encounters that you had in the past or even now
Yeah.
currently that when you reveal that you don't believe
Mhm.
in God or you don't believe in higher power, nga na siya. So
Mhm.
do you have
So
any
yeah,
what was the worst then if you had?
the worst reaction that I got was like something. They look at me in disgust.
Mhm, mhm.
Like yung mga tao nga like murag dili ka to mag-abot ang kilay gani.
Mhm, mhm.
But sa pila na ko katuig nga atheist, na-realize na ko nga kasagaran sa mga tao nga ingana og reaction like bate og reaction towards sa mga atheists is that mostly sa mga tao wala ka ba og unsa ang position sa atheist. Abi nila nga atheism is like against religion or anti-religion, which is
Mhm,
not.
mhm. Mm.
So if I may explain ang unsa ang position sa
You
atheist
go
is
ahead.
that mao ni siya ang position na I-claim, di ba? Na
Mhm,
God,
mhm,
like Christian, Muslim, na I-claim. Ang position sa atheist is just we denied that claim nga those gods exist because they haven't met their burden of proof. Pero not in the sense nga kay tungod gi-deny na namo ang claim nga na exist ang God that dili na pasabot nga kami against me sa tanang religion. Sure, against me sa mga practices sa religion like for
mhm,
example, i-justify nimo ang bati nimo gibuhat, gamiton nimo ang religion para i-justify nimo na. Take for example, pila ka years ago sa gibuhat ni Manny Pacquiao like yung niana siya nga homosexuality is like an animal, 'di ba? It was because of his religion, it was because of his strong belief in Bible.
mhm,
So mo to nakaingon siya na. So mo lang mo diha na time nga atheist or bisag ka nang dili atheist mo palag man sila na nga na.
mhm,
For example, like I know we heard this a lot like uh, pedophile cases sa Catholic priest.
mhm,
Then instead of nga prisuhon gani ang pari, they actually being transferred to a different diocese. So dili sila mapriso. Like nga na ba? Like dapat justified sila, dapat mapriso sila, dapat
mhm,
equal round na sila
mhm,
sa kuan. So yeah, this a position dyan sa atheist is not we're going against the religion. In fact,
mhm,
mas ganahan pa na ako mas ako kung na kay religion I don't hate you for it or dili ti kay discriminate kung na kay religion, dili ti kay look down if na kay religion.
mhm,
As it's if religion is like pwede ko religion is like analogy lang niya,
mhm,
religion is like having a dick. It's
mhm,
okay to be proud with it, it's okay to have it, it's just not okay to shove it in someone else's mouth forcefully.
mhm,
So, mao lang yun akong kuan sa religion. But, if daghan ko, halos tanan ako amigo, pero sa religious, like,
mhm,
hardcore religious.
mm, mm,
So far, mag-get along, dili man may mag-away, pero me.
mm, mm,
So, mao lang ako.
mhm. Basta magkasilid tanay lang.
Kasi nabtan na ron.
Mm. How about
And
situ
I times, mo engage sila na ako,
oo,
like, in debates, pero, guman, kay mag-appear naman gihapon. So, sports ra.
in the dates? Unsa to?
Mo engage sila na ako debate ba?
Debate, okay.
Kay mga prone man gud ang mga atheist og debate niya na like may bawaan ka nga atheist ka then i-engage din ka pero
Yeah.
tanawon man gud ako ang lugar o sa ang setting ba like
Mhm,
if appropriate ba nga makigdebate ka ning tahanan or dili mo ko ma-engage.
mhm, yeah. Uh, I would I have ano at an uncle pod or tito who was also previously a religious person. In fact, I think he
Mhm.
was going to be a pastor man siguro. Unta, unta. Then
Mhm.
something happened. I'm not really sure. I haven't talked to my uncle man about that. Ano. Pero uh, we don't kuan man pod, yeah, we don't really try to force kung because of course he is
Mhm.
big enough to decide so yeah, I agree with your imong gisulti Red na religious people really do tend to kind of debate on because they want to force their beliefs on other persons, whether it's being a Muslim
Mhm.
or a Christian or an atheist. There's really like
Mhm.
this urge, to like spread. It's also because of the uh, naput sa command sa Bible nga to spread, di ba? Nga
Oo.
to
Pero nabantayan
evangelize.
ako, nabantayan ako na the more hardcore ka nga religious, the more you are likely to engage in a debate to sa mga
Mhm.
atheists.
Mhm, mhm.
Oo, na ako nabantayan. Like
Mhm.
kasagaran mo debate ako, member sa Couples for Christ or Youth for Christ
Mhm, mhm.
or sa Kristan, nga na ba? Mo na
Mhm.
ako nabantayan.
Mhm. Which is you don't like.
Okay ra man makig-debate ko,
Mhm.
pero kasagaran mo good, yun lang, like, if na ako'y kadebate, most of the time, ma-offend man muna ako sila.
Mm,
So,
mm.
as much as possible,
Apoy.
i-try na nako ganang avoid. Pero kung amigo te ka, like,
Mhm.
suod kita nga amigo,
Mhm.
I don't care if ma-offend ka kung mag-debate ta.
Mm, mm.
Kay, ang nindot man gud na ang debate good, mura mo gud nagpampahait sa imong una-una. Para nako ha, mura
Mhm.
pampahait sa una-una ba.
Mm,
Kay kung dili ta kaila, dili gyud ko mo engage
mhm.
nimo unless pero dili ko ang possibility nga mo engage ko nimo kung dili ta suod is gamay ra.
Mhm.
Compared sa kung suod jud kayo ta, bisa pag magbinuntagay tag debate.
Mm, mm, mm. Yeah. How about si Kitty? Kitty, are you still there? Can you still hear us? What if you heard us the answer po ni Red, did you have any same encounters with same as Red na wars nga didebatihon jud ka ana when you come out as an atheist to your friends or to people around you? Kadaog pa ba ka ni si Kitty? Murag kuan siguro ang connection niya.
Kitty.
Uh not sure if she can still hear us. So anyway, let's try to move on
Yeah, I
siguro.
can hear you.
Okay, okay, okay. Or sig lagi.
Okay na?
Yeah, we can hear you pero sige, go.
Okay. Yeah, I've encountered like mga kuan ba, mga reaction nga violent kayo, especially sa friends na they thought they know you, they
Mhm.
know you,
Mhm.
tapos all of a sudden come out ka as someone who doesn't believe sa religion nga gikadak-an nato here sa Philippines, which is Christianity, like Christians, ano
Mhm.
ba. So they look at you with disgust or they unfriend you, they stop talking to you kanang mga na. Nasa uban mo engage og debate.
Mhm. Mhm.
But kanang ang end up na or ang kuan na ang ang ending ana kay kuan unfriend ra gyapon mo sa Facebook. So sometimes di na ko magkig-kuan kay for me usahay not unless maka-affect na gud sila sa life or maka-endanger na sila sa life sa ilahang kaugalingon or sa others, then dinahan ako mo murag mo step in
Mhm.
na
Mhm.
because of the religion sayop ilang ginahuna, like example kanang kanang mga totoo di lang jud religion, like mga totoo ba mga
Mhm. Mhm.
magpa-albularyo kanang mga ingana ba na instead na iadto sa hospital kay i-pray over lang kanang nabay ingana jud kon exist jud nang ingana na super religious kanang sa sobra nila ka religious di na jud sila motuo kanang modern medicine na
Mhm.
instead na ang ilang anak ipa-hospital ipa-pray over na lang sa ilang kanang grupo
Mhm.
kanang
Mhm.
religious group nila. So not unless
Mhm.
ingana na gid ka worse na gid na scenario ay hapa ko mo step in.
Mhm. Mhm.
So sa una, grabe na ko ka nanay term mga militant atheist
Mhm.
nga grabe jud ka nang ikaw jud mo engage ba ikaw jud mo murag pero ma-realize nimo ba mura naman sa kanang unsay naka-difference nimo if militant atheist ka towards kanang mga preacher. So mura sa gihapon ka ga-preach so mo
Mhm.
nang stop. So not unless I'm asked ay hara ko mo istorya.
Mhm.
If dili rasad ko murag wala man say mawala nila sa kay kung di sa kumingon na oy itis ko something.
Mhm. Mhm.
At
Mhm.
least important jud na mahibalo sila
Mhm.
sa
Mhm.
ako ang religious stance.
Yeah.
Dili rasad ko.
Yeah. Okay. Ana yun na siya. For me mo, I observe the same in terms of religious. On my part, I'm not really that religious yun, and then that I will try to debate and try to force people on my belief. And so, yeah. So, how do you guys, I don't know, view? So we have talked about your past and how you became an atheist and your troubles or encounters with dealing people that doesn't have the same view as you. So let's change gears
Mhm.
on how do you view life, man? Is it like a simulation or is it a chance? We are here in this earth. So how do you view life, man? Or like what's your take on that? So Red mentioned Darwin theory, yan na. So
Yeah, we're
Yeah,
here
but
by chance lang. We're
mhm,
here by chance, and mora jud this is the only life we get.
mhm,
One shot ra gyud ta.
mhm,
So we have to live life to the fullest gyud. Like we have to do things that makes us happy and also make others happy. Ingana well, most likely kung makakita ta sa tong loved ones na happy man sad ta.
mhm,
So
mhm,
nasa ibang tao ingana ang path ba. Like looking at other people nga happy sad sila on their own. So walay kuan ba? Murag walay hunahuna nga i-reward ka in the end when you die,
mhm,
something like that. Which is mora gid ni ang life na ato ang kuan, ato ang makuha wala jud lain. So ani afterlife things like that. So we have to make the best out of it. While we'll stay here, we say na love na to atong mga loved ones kanang as much as possible ana ba.
mhm,
So mora na kuan nga klase nga life ako ang gusto i-live by na find my happiness kanayan na ba
mhm, mhm,
and do kindness kung na chance nga maka-help mo help nga na ba
mhm.
so nga na ra na siya ako
Ikaw, Red.
ang kuan
Ikaw, Red. How do you view life? Is it like a
ako,
simulation or is it just by chance that we are here? Since you mentioned about the Darwin theory,
well,
evolution.
if you're asking how we came here or
Mm-mm,
how life came to be, then dili na siya evolution. There's
mm,
a separate ang evolution. It answers it answers kuan man gud, the diversity of life. It's not um good for finding answers how life came into existence.
mhm,
There's
mhm,
another theory or hypothesis pa. It's called. There's actually a lot of hypotheses of how life came to be.
mm-mm,
One of the things that I really strongly believe in is panspermia. The premise of this is that life came out from outside the Earth, like from comets or from meteorites.
mhm,
With regards to if there's a purpose in life, not by default, no, you don't have a purpose. You have to find the purpose of your life on your own.
mhm,
Whether sa imong religion or whether through other self-help books, ikaw na bahala na ang mo
mhm,
pangitag
mhm,
purpose. Kung sa'y purpose nimo. And I do see movie, The Matrix, like
mhm.
simulation.
Yeah.
It's actually there was a hypothesis written. There's actually a science paper written for that
Mhm,
that we are in a simulation. But it's too far fetched naman good. Like ako mo explain ko ana na wala ako kabasa tong paper.
mhm,
Dili na ako
mhm,
pero naay ko ana naay ni suggest actually ana.
mhm, mhm. But you've seen the movie, man, diba, diba? So it's like
Yeah, I see.
uh we are now in the actual world is really far far away in the future, and then mo
Mhm.
to siya nga kuan. Actually, Matrix is one of my favorite movies. Sometimes even though I watched it before na many times, I still rewatch it because of
Mhm.
the well, it's very
Well,
interesting concept. Mm-hmm.
my problem with yeah, my problem with the theory, with the simulation theory, is that dili man gud siya falsifiable. Na in order for your hypothesis to be accepted sa science nga
Mm-hmm.
community, dapat siya usa sa pinaka-importante is falsifiable siya, meaning if unsa may imong statement nga masulti nga if it is true, then the hypothesis is false. So if simulation ta dili na to ma falsify na ang theory. Like how can we determine jud like with a higher probability nga simulation ito belisod kayo.
Mhm, mhm, mhm. Mhm, mhm. Well, mo na siya kuan nga you cannot really prove it based sa movie. You cannot really prove it if you're like if you're still in it.
Mm.
You're still in the simulation because you can't really uh tell the difference whether it's real or katong gingon ni Morpheus whether
Yes.
it's real or is it just a dream or anything. So, but it was a ano, it was
Mm.
it's an interesting movie that one of my favorites.
Yeah,
Mm.
intriguing kita ya. Kita jud ko tanan pati animatrix kita ko.
Wala ko kitaan nakaturan ko real movies na kuan. So anyway, going further into this topic of how we came to be. Do you believe in extraterrestrials or do you have any cunning thinking? Are they here like currently right now, just hovering on the earth? And do you think is it relatable or is it though atheists think about that also?
Yeah, we think about those things too. Na
Mhm.
yung possibility, but since lack of evidence, so pwede tinom, pwede di.
Yeah, especially
Same as kung ano.
yeah, especially right now nga na mga nanggawas ng mga videos from the Pentagon that they see an
Kung
aircraft.
daghan man gud na ka ng conspiracy theories about
Mm,
ting ana. So, not unless na ana do siguro like, di na gid siya malimod, then yeah, siguro tinuod.
mm. So how does that affect you if ever uh that knowledge will come to light na there are really extraterrestrials out there? As an atheist, what would be your reaction to it? Yeah.
Well, dili ko ma-surprise if na.
Mm-mm.
But the thing is, kanang mga ato nakita ron like for example kanang gi-release nga video sa
Mhm.
Air Force sa US is like the tag is as UFO. May nga UFO, unidentified flying object.
Mhm.
Wala ta kay bawgon sana. So dili ta maka-decide if alien ba jud na or dili.
Mhm.
Dili mo tuo kog aliens dili pareha sa like in a sense kita kanang ancient aliens nga nga
Documentary.
series like dili nga na kay kana para nako no, pseudoscience na siya para nako conspiracy theory na siya mutuo noon ko nga naay life out other than earth naay other planets nga nag-support og life kay ang life magud para nako is inevitable product jud sa universe ba
Mhm.
like if ang planet na within sa habitable zone sa usa ka star like naa jud siya kasi dako yun yung possibility nga naay life.
Mhm. Mhm. Mhm.
Yeah, with the right combination sa kung unsay compose nato siguro like kita we're composed of minerals and kuan before we came to be like single cell organisms or gana ba something nga na.
Mhm. Mhm.
So not possibility nga na life sa pila ka millions sa galaxy sa kuan sa universe, di ba?
Mhm.
It's
Mhm.
possible.
Mhm.
Pero kanang mga 80 na mo visit diri ambot lang. I don't know if that's real.
Well, I also dig into that subject, but which I'm also very fond of that topic about the tawag ani
Aliens.
the root or how we came to be. There are so many theories. We can go to the religious path where we can have that God created it. We can go to the scientific path where from katong gingon ni Red nga we're just from life came to be from meteors and or we can go to the extraterrestrial path.
Kuan man sa
Yeah.
kuan man sa like kasabot man sa usa ka ng sa mga religious na tao
Mhm.
like anong mucho sila sa creation na path kay ang Bible na book na gi-write na siya like pila thousands of years ago and then wala pa mga scientific data gyud wala pa and sometimes ang tao man good they tend to like sa psychological nga kuan ba side
Mhm.
sa person mo maguna siya belong to find answer gani and then i-tailor fit nga ni nato ang kuan unsay mga panghitabo na nakita nato dili ma-explain so therefore it must be like God so nag-create og something na para mo fill in sa katong nga void nga unknown sa unang panahon so
Oh,
para nako
nag-create og
karon obsolete na
nag-create
siya
sila
because there are Sige, go ahead, Red.
Nag-create sila ad hoc answers ba?
Mm, mm,
Like, for example, sa unang panahon, wala ta kabaw, sa unang panahon, wala kabaw asagi ka ng kilat or nga unsa ng lightning, unsay cause ana. So,
mm,
nagtuo sila si Zeus,
mm, mm,
nagkuhan sa lightning. So, unang panahon, wala ta kabaw unsay cause sa tsunami. So, si Poseidon, nagkuhan sa tsunami. And then,
Mm.
nagkasunod-sunod, hantod na ni-exist ng mga bago nga religion like ang Catholicism, Islam, katong sa una pagan pa like mga kuan jud to like mga hardcore jud to na mga religion sa una.
mm,
So karon ang bisag ka karon gali ang Roman Catholic gali or ang Christian gali murag so manggali kay sila in terms of mo follow bagid sila silang Bible like
mm,
word by word or dili
They
magdepende sila
don't
sa
actually.
unsay bag-o.
So, ang tawag ana murag cherry picking gani kuan kung unsa ray mo fit sa imong lifestyle mo ray mong sundon.
mm, mm,
So, di na sad like mo come in ang murag tinuod ba jud ka nga follower and then kusog kay ka mo makig-debate sa uban. Like if sa Christian belief, you you're not allowed to eat meat on Friday
mm, mm,
and you're not allowed to work on a Sunday. Kanang may ngana ba or else you have to
Di,
die.
dili lang kay kana. Premarital sex jud. Ikaw kung Kristiyano ka, ano premarital sex mga nga bawal mo na. I mean, there's nothing wrong sa atheist nga point of view. There's nothing wrong about that. But pero kung Kristiyano ka or ni follow jud ka ni Jesus, ni
Mm.
follower jud ka ni Jesus,
Mo
dili
na
ka fan lang ni Jesus. Dili jud ka mag premarital sex, di ba? Kay makasasala
mo
gud
na
na.
muna akong problem sa kanang religious people nga mo kuan ba mo engage og debate nako ba which is ang fundamental man gani sa ilang belief is wala nila sundaw. Why push it on me? Kanang yana ba? Mo na akong problema.
mm,
Kay nganong pugson man ko nimo mahimong motuo sa imong tinuan ikaw gani mismo wa man gani ka nag-follow. Kung like ita kung tinuod ba na ana ba di wala man gani sila ni sunod ana dagan sila sala then
mm,
so kung sa kuan pa their souls are burning in hell kung yana like namakak sila kadang
mm.
wa sila musimba kadang way ngana ba
So
so
how,
which is very common
yeah,
nga kuan sa
okay.
Christians which is kay mao man na to there so and of course kung asa ka na tao depende man gyud I mean pagka anak nato we're all atheist man unless we're indoctrined sa ato ang parents or sa atong culture kung asa ta nataw. So if ako nataw ko sa Middle East so dili ko Kristiyano,
Mm,
mahimo ko Muslim,
mm,
'di ba?
mm.
So yun na siya.
So how do you guys handle life struggles or problems? Like example, well, most of the people are, if nasa problema, we always say, we
Mhm.
pray to God, and then like if it's really like really really dire, and then like it's hopeless, like they go to the church or ask somebody to
Ah,
pray for them, and how about yung if how do you handle, like example, like life threatening situations, or not really life threatening, like maybe depression, or like when you feel something like hopeless, like when you're really down, where uh you have no one to turn to, like I think that's what's siguro what's comforting siguro for most of the people, is that
ah,
they know that
y-
they can
yeah.
call on somebody of a higher power. So how about sa atheist point of view, like if you are faced with that kind of situation, so how do you think in terms of ingana?
Di mo mo cope sa imuhang kuan struggles.
Mhm, mhm, yeah.
Wala jud kay kuan. Like you you really have to since ang kasagaran no kabalo jud ko sa psychological na side anang
Mhm,
magampo kay kuan para paminawon na daw para ma-lessen ang burden is psychological na jud siya. So same ra sad na as mag-meditate ka or mag-reflect ka sa imong mga gibuhat nga nung naabot ka sa ing ana nga point it really helps. Or
Mhm.
kaon like matulog kag sakto, imong diet is sakto, which is kaon kag tarong ana ba? Kasi
Mhm.
mao man jud na ang makapajack up sa imong hormones ka ng walay tarong tulog ug kaon. So, ingan na ra na siya.
What about
Dili
you, Red?
kay
Mhm. Ikaw, Red.
Ako,
Oh, yeah.
like if
How
you are depressed,
mhm.
like if depressed ka, like feeling you're not moving forward, you can't find any inspiration na you're feeling down, you're kind of lost, then wala ka kibaw, ganun, depressed mo ko, ganun, ganun. There's actually kanang mga psychiatrists to help you with that, to cope with that. Like, bayad ka nila, and they can actually tell you what's wrong with you. Mo-provide sila din mo og kanang advice, or kung magkalisod tagaan pa kag tambal
Mhm.
para to cope up with your to cope with your depression. Anya na daghan kayo mga tao nga nagpakamatay, like mag-live sa Facebook nga moambak tungod kay di ko diri man gud sa Pilipinas gud dili man gud kay na na to nga magpatanong tag psychiatrist kay kasagaran sa mga tao, if ikaw magpatanong kag psychiatrist, technically buang na riyon ka diretso, di ba? Mura nga na lang nagpatad siya psych, buang siguro na siya, di man gud mahayo
Mhm.
manggugana kasagaran sa mga tao na to diri mo nang usay uban nagpakamatay, uban mo resort into uh, using illegal drugs kay mangita sila way to cope with their current situation ba, when they can just go to kuan psychiatrist. I think naman guys siguro libre ng
Mhm.
mga government funded nga mga psych.
Mhm.
So yeah, if down kay ka, yung ana, o ato sa psychiatrist, like feeling nimo ganahan na ka magpakamatay,
Mhm.
tanaw sa psychiatrist.
And in connection with that, I have a friend who is into tarot card reading. So how do you view man about those kind of no, things about the occult of practicing? But they would say the religious people would say nga, "Oy, dili siya maayo anak." So but how come
Mhm.
how as an atheist? Well, I might know your answer, pero I want to hear it from you guys. Kung how do you what do you think about tarot
Si
card
ko
reading and also
si Kitty
psychic like mananambal ana ngana
si,
siya.
si Kitty una kay weekend na siya sa una.
Okay, let's go to Kitty.
Kuan, for me it's just a phase. Mura sad na siya og kanang religion. Religion man gyud ang paganism. Although minority na diri sa kuan, diri sa Philippines. Yeah, but kuan man na siya like usa man na siya sa kanang recognized nga religion sa gawas, especially sa states kanang Wicca sa Europe, mga mag-tarot card reading. Usually mga mag-tarot card reading man na sila for a living because maningil ba kang fee ana for you to read. And para na kuno akong tubag na kay i-tailor fit ra jud na nila sa kung unsa imong kuan, like ikaw mismo nga nagpa-tarot card read, ikaw ray magsumpay-sumpay sa kung unsay general nga gisulti sa imuhang sa nag-tarot card read sa imuha. Like sa ni siya example ha, muing ko nga na kay problema sa family kanang ingana, so ikaw ray magsumpay-sumpay or na kay problema sa love ingana. So ikaw rin mo sumpay, ikaw na nagpa-read sa katong tarot card reader, ikaw ra siya sumpay. Pareha ra jud na sila sa kanang religious organization, like sa uban religious organization. Same ra gid sila. So it's just another type or another system of belief ba. Just like Christianity, just like Islam, just like other religion
Mhm.
na kuan present. So I used to card read man,
Mhm.
and it was fun. So it's just a phase.
Okay.
Yeah, lingaw siya.
Okay. Ikaw Red,
Yeah, na picture pa gani mi sa star before.
amo ba?
Yeah, kay nagkuan mi event sa Handuraw
Mhm.
mga 2003 man yata to 2002 nga nag-active kay kuog ka ng wika nami kuan group sa Cebu na Ordo Intra Circularis or Order of the Inner Circle
Mhm.
o kanang Philippine Miss oh,
Mhm,
Mystic Arts.
mhm, mhm.
Mr. Oo ma. Order of the Mystic Arts kana.
Okay.
So lingaw to siya nga times.
Ikaw, Red, do you have
Mag
anything
ghost
to add
hunting,
sa'yo na? O, ghost
mag ghost
hunting?
hunting ato. Ako yung na si Red.
Ako?
Apil po day ka, Red, sa grupo?
Ako, kung gusto ko na lang to nila sa una.
Ghost
Pero
hunting.
ako, if tanawon nimo para na to mugod murag og nindot kay ni siya like for example na psychic or astrologer bale ba nga tagnaon ako ikaw Pisces ka karon
Mhm,
nga karon adlaw mo ni mo metabo nimo i namay nay dito nga experiment gibuhat si Chris Angel kung familiar ka ni Chris Angel murag magician na siya sa way
mhm,
back 2000 siguro
mhm,
na siya gibuhat nga nagpalin niya nag-gather siya mga volunteer ipalin niya niya then iyang basahon og basahan niya og tarot card reading. But ang iyang basahon verbatim pareha ra sa tanan tao nga gipalinya niya
mhm,
sa kadagan tao. So verbatim jud pareha ra ang gibasa. Karon ang mga tao pagbasa makaingon sila, "La, sakto jud. Igo jud kaya nako or ana ba." Pero kato yung gibasa general to pero ay suppose maigo gyud tanan tao. Wala jud niingon maski usa nila nga ay dili sayop, dili accurate ang imong reading. Tanan jud accurate ang reading kay ila man gi-fit good kung sa gibasa ni Chris Angel ilang gi-fit silang kaugalingon ba like for example mayon ko ikaw na kay gihuwat nga message karon na sa imong life nga moabot well all of us siguro makaingon tag yeah or naay something message nga atong gihuwat sa atong life nga moabot
mhm,
general kayo na magapag-astorya or kasagaran nimo makita sa YouTube like kanang mga horror or mga kuan kunuhay like mga murbasa og mga auras like ang una nilang pangutana silang audience naay tao diri dapita ang ilang nga nagsugod og letter K of course the possibility of it nga matagnaan nimo usa ka tawo di sa audience nga nila nagsugod og letter K naa gyud di ba so diha sila magsugod din it seems like sila nakatagna sila nimo but most of the time question ang ilang gipangutana nimo pero nila gather sila information ba through asking you a lot of questions para nimo sim general kayo pero para nila specific na kay ito kaya
mhm,
ang general question nila ihatag nimo ang imong answer kay specific mong good so in the end ang ilang conclusion murag fit kayo nimo or most of the time matagnaan pagali ang specific details kay unconsciously imo na dito gihatag dai nila so mo
mhm,
nang dili ko mo I don't buy that like ano mga astrology like mga zodiac sign or mga psychic kunuhay like samot na especially ka mga psychic na para sa Amerika like magpabayad para mag-prayer healing magpabayad kay para i-contact ang imong patay ang espiritu sa patay nimo nga relative kunuhay para tagaan kag message mo para na kukuan man oy fraud man na o gi-scam man nimo mo sa
Scam.
katao.
mhm, mhm. So, ang ana, so yeah, Momoto nga. I got the answer na confirmation lang sa from you guys. So, we are almost out of time now. We are almost about to end. So, kanina lang siya siguro. So how do you view where in different manggod sa most people where they say nga so we pass away, we move on into another plane or we move into another existence which is for sa uban is heaven ana. So, in terms of ana, so how do you kaning tawag ani? So you said na you just need try our best to be as good as to other people, and then w- what do you what's in your mind? Like example, if you are on your deathbed, like what is it? Nga, siguro what you will reflect on, man. Siguro when you're we all die, man, 'di ba? We are not immortal. So, but
Yeah.
people, for most people, they would say, nga, "Oh, I'm almost my time has almost up," but then they won't worry because there's something else out there. So, how about sa inyo? What would you like reflect on when you like in that time comes, whenever that time will be?
Depende sa klase nga death. What if sudden death di nakaka-reflect?
Okay, okay, okay.
We don't really know. I really wouldn't know. Maybe if if I've raised my kids well, siguro mora na akong ikuan if maybe they'll be okay nga wala na ko something ana.
Mhm.
Siguro muna ako ikuan ba or unsa nga legacy ang akong nabilin ba when I die.
Mhm. Would you say that
Mura na siya
the
akong
the most
i-remember.
would you say that the most prized possession nga an atheist could have is their offspring because you passed
Yeah, I
on.
think we all do. Yeah, I think mo jud na ang nature sa ato diri ba. Like
Mhm.
ang purpose niya i-pass on ang atong DNA tawag ana kanang ato ang legacy or atong liwat ana ba.
Mhm.
So murag mapas on na to or anything nga values na atong gi gi gihatag sa atong mga kids or ang usa kay ilang impact ba
Mhm. Mhm.
sa world na ilahang kadak-an puhon sila na ilahan ng time
Mhm.
if after na if mawala na ta and if magkaanak sad sila yung anak.
Mhm. Okay. How about you, Red? If you are like example, not a sudden death, no. Let's say you're in a out of old age, and then
Mm.
what do
Well,
you reflect on?
generally, parehas sa sad kang kitty, like magunahon ako if I've prepared my offspring like to face sa ilang world nga gidakan karon.
Mhm.
And if nahatag ba jud nako nahatag ba na tanan nila like ang ilang panginahanglan, if na-providean ba nako sila like sa ilang needs to prepare sa nga magdako sila ba nga at least dili na sila mangita silang parents yung mamagpapa.
Mm.
Like hopefully mamatay ko nga tiguang na jud kay kustanan like kanang dako na jud akong anak ba at least kanang makaingon gali ko nga okay na akong anak prepared na kaysa mamatay ka nga imong anak wala pa mag 10 years old so lisod kaayo na di ka mahimutang kung pwede pa lang mo bangon ug balik bangon.
Mhm. 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 Okay. So would you last question before we go to the parting message. Would you be offended if someone will say to you, "I will pray for you"? Let's example let's say tradition man gyud sa kuan sa religion that when you deathbed there will be a priest nga. Would you be offended if someone will do that to you as an atheist?
Ano? No, for me no. I know they mean well
Mm.
even though kanang it is it doesn't hinder you if na friends nimo na mayon God bless you or kanang mayon nimo nga kanang I will pray for you kanang ana ba
Mhm.
dili man na siya kawalan
Mhm.
like
Mhm.
i-take na nako as ni care sila nimo ingana they will do that for you even though deep inside kabalo ko nga okay pero at least
Mhm.
mag-effort sila pray ingana so okay ra na nako dili ko ma-offend.
Ikaw, Red, same ra sa imo ha.
Ako depende.
Okay.
Depende ako if dili ko mo offend if mayngan sila like for example let's say kuan kanang na ako'y exam ugma or something ana like
Mhm.
trivial lang kayo ba nya mayon sila I'll pray for you ana dili ko mo offend ana. Pero ma-offend ko if like for example katong Yolanda nito po example ni Kitty ganina katong Yolanda nito po daghan kay nang nalagtabang adto sa Tacloban. Then ang kasagaran mga post sa Facebook ato nga time ako magitan like we'll pray for them ngay nga na I mean di maka like it doesn't make you nga nakatabang kanila you pray for them nothing's gonna happen might as well mo volunteer kag pamilyo nga to sa mga gamit nga gipang donate or mo volunteer kag pang repack nga to sa mga sardinas mga dilata mo
Mhm.
volunteer ka pag repack ka to sa mga noodles nga na kaysa
Mhm.
mo pray ka then iguman like proud na kay ka kay ni pray ka na like post nimo sa Facebook. It's one of the reasons why wala ko'y Facebook actually kay tungod ma-trigger ko mga nga na ba like ambot nga no pero ma-trigger ko ba like I'll pray for you ha wala mo gud mabuhat yung yan like for example like katong nahitabo sa Yolanda pero kung trivial lang like kung take
Mhm.
kag exam niya may ka ko I'll pray for you okay ra dili ko ma-offend na.
Mhm. Mhm. Okay, last question that I need. Is there any chance that you will change like from an atheist to
Yes, yeah ako
yeah.
yeah
How about sa Kitty?
usaray reason nga mahimo ko
Okay,
ma-Christian ko balik.
or any
It's just
religion.
provide as long as they can fulfill their burden of proof then
Mhm.
instantly
Mhm.
mobalhin ko.
Okay.
Pero sa di pa na metabo, ma-remain jud ko atheist. Mo na akong mo jud na ang default position.
Okay. Kitty, would you
Same.
same? Okay. As long
Yeah,
as there is
as
proof.
if there's proof, yeah. Makita tag proof. O na, di ba kita man gani, makita man gani tag resibo, di
Mm.
ba? So, nga na, palit tag oil ngita tag resibo. So,
Mm.
na,
All right.
eh,
All
ana,
right.
sab.
All right. Okay.
Sumutuwag jud ka kung makita jud ka.
Okay. Before we go and say goodbye to our viewers, listeners who are watching live or through our replay. So, what message do you give to our audience sa inyo? So, as an atheist, on message lang ninyo.
Ako una,
Sige.
mm, ako una sa general public, please lang sa karon panahon nga pandemic, ayaw mo pagtutuo ang mga anti-vaxxers o kanang mga anti-medical shock ba nga kuan diha. Ayaw ta mo pagtutuo na kay kamo ray maangol. Kung mutuo man gay mo kamo lang ay gapilayan yung mga anak ug inyong asawa or inyong relatives ana.
Mhm.
Kung di mo magpa-vaccine di ayaw lang mo pandamay. Mao ra na akong message. O pwede mo shout out.
Sige, sure.
Yung shout out ko sa akong mga amigo sa Cebu, si Archie, si Loki, ug ako manghod nga si Neil, ug mga tanan chatter sa Cebu pang shout out kay Antares, Fem for Love, kang Galford, kang Batman sad.
Ayan. Alright. Shout out sa inyo, tanan. How about you, Kitty? Message sa all our listeners, viewers out there who is viewing live or to our replay. So,
Una. So always question yourself if you're doing the right thing. Always be kind to other people. Always choose kindness jud kay we don't know what they're going through.
mhm.
So let's leave this world in to a better
Better
place
place.
than kanang atong naabtan ba. So always do things na makapatabang sa environment, sa tanan sa community ninyo nga na stay safe, mag-stay at home, pag-mask mo, always. Yung ana.
Yeah. Keep
So,
safe.
tinabangay tang tanan.
Yeah. All right. Sa ako po
We only have
message.
one race. One race.
Yeah. Module. Yeah. Ako po message for sa all our viewers and the listeners out there that most siguro especially the traditionalists and the most really strong about their religion and foundation that what I can say is that atheists are not really the bad people. They're just the same with us. We just have the different views on life and on faith. And so, we are all in this together. We are living in one world, in one planet. And yeah, keep safe, everyone. And before we go, I'd like to thank you to Red and to Kitty. Thank you very much, Red and Kitty, for sharing your
Thank you
time
Thank
with
you,
sa
me
Paul.
here in our podcast. And
pangandoy ra
Thank you
ganin
for
ako ang mga
inviting me.
podcast.
yeah,
Salamat
it's my
kayo.
pleasure. It's my pleasure and honor to have you guys here. And hopefully, if the arise, if there's an opportunity to talk about a topic that might be related sa inyo or you can help me or you can help us enlighten a topic like this one, I can, call on you or you guys in a future episode siguro.
Sure.
All right.
I'm
Anytime,
sure wala pa
anytime.
dyan na-cover ka na.
Yeah.
Dili makaver sa usa ka oras or so.
Yeah, I hope you also enjoyed
Thank
our
you so
time
much, Paul.
together here, our 1 hour podcast.
Yes, very
Salamat
much.
kayo.
Yeah. Thank you so
Very
much,
much. Thank
Enjoy
guys.
the
you.
day.
And to everyone else out there,
Salamat.
thank you very much for viewing our
Thank you
podcast.
to listeners.
I hope you learned a lot
Bye guys.
of things. Okay. Bye bye.
Bye.